Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain a movie called The Plague. Hope you like it. Enjoy the video and take care. Film starts in the year of 1983 in a suburban town in America. A father, named David Rayner, is yelling at his 8-year-old son Jake to wake up, as he is late for school. When Jake doesn't answer, then David goes to check and comes across with a troubling sight. Jake has stopped moving and is giggling while doing so. David doesn't waste any time in rushing him to the hospital, where he learns that his son is not the only one who awoke feeling that way. Parents carrying their kids and attempting to speak with a doctor fill the hallway. In fact, every child under the age of 9 worldwide has reportedly developed catatonia, according to the news on television. Even the most knowledgeable scientists are baffled by the reports coming in from Asia, Australia, and Africa asking for expert opinion. Chaos ensues as parents come to the streets to protest, but even they do not know what they are protesting against. Days turn into weeks, months, and years, but the children never go back to normal. Every child born after 1983 is born in the same condition, threatening the end of mankind. Several laws are formed to protect the rights of sick children and to stop people from procreating further. This causes economic and social instability around the globe, which further gives rise to many problems. The only movement the children make is when they get intense seizures twice a day at the same time every day. Science has no answers to what the seizures mean, just like how it has no answers to the entire plague. Cut 10 years later. 8-year-old Jake has now turned into an 18-year-old boy, but with no life inside of him. He is fed and kept in a healthy condition, but David and other parents of the world have given up on getting their children back. After the last graduating class, the school in David's town closes, and the gym is converted into a hospital for sick kids whose families cannot afford to care for them. The head doctor at the gym is a woman named Jean. Then, we are introduced to Jean's ex-husband Tom. He went to jail a few years ago for killing a man in a bar fight. The incident changed his life and took his job and family away. After serving prison time, he has just recently been let out on parole. Since Tom has no place to live, David allows him to stay at his house for a few days, where Tom also gets to meet Jake. David has brought several medical equipment for Jake's comfort. Tom remarks that they must have been expensive, but David responds that nothing will make his son happy. He appears to think that even though his son is unable to communicate his emotions, he can still understand what is happening around him. Tom runs into Jean in the evening, who is not pleased to see him. They have a brief exchange before she asks him to keep his distance. She only sees Tom as a murderer, despite the fact that Tom still loves her. Tom visits the local sheriff and his old mentor at the police station the following day. He sees 2 young people there who have been detained for trespassing. 10 years ago, they narrowly crossed the age of 9 and were saved from being like the other kids. While most such children are in bigger cities making a lot of money, these 2 break into houses and talk to unconscious children. No one knows why they do it, but by the looks of it, they seem to be struggling mentally. In the next scene, we see a doctor walking into the gym for a regular checkup. She is met with horror when she sees that they have come back to consciousness and are staring at her. The woman cannot believe her eyes and freezes in shock until one girl attacks her. Back in the house, Tom wakes up because of a noise and sees the state of emergency message on TV. He rushes upstairs to check up on Jake, but finds him missing. Then, he goes to David's room to discover that his face has been squashed to death. Seconds later, Jake appears behind and attacks him. He is about to be killed when his childhood friend and Jean's brother Sam arrives at the house. He hits the kid with a tire iron and throws him off the window. Sam also reveals that the entire city has been swarmed by the awake children whose only aim is to kill the adults. No one knows what they actually want, but people are dying at a frightening rate. Suddenly, they remember that Jean was working a night shift, which means she is surrounded by sick children. They quickly make their way outside but are yet again approached by Jake. He initially tries to attack them but stops and collapses. Tom and Sam then drive to the school. A nurse with a deformed face is the first dead body they discover. They are attacked by the kids as they attempt to ascend the stairs as they try to grab their faces for some reason. The same 2 teenagers Tom saw earlier at the police station intervene to save them. Kip and Claire are identified as the individuals. It turns out that the killers think the couple is one of them, which is how they have survived till now. Tom asks them to quickly get out of the city while he and Sam continue looking for Jean. When in the hallways, they are almost spotted by a horde of the killers, but they manage to hide inside a room with locked doors. They also find a group of 8 survivors waiting for help. The doctors think the police are on their way to help them, unaware that no one in the town is safe, including the police. Tom is told that Jean went up a vent to get medicines for an injured survivor. He follows her behind, asking Sam to take care of the others. A few minutes later, Sam hears someone trying to break the door. He panics and asks the group to go down the laundry chute. They make a rope out of bed sheets and manage to climb down one after another. Sam goes last, but halfway through, he hears the others screaming in pain. Realizing that they have been attacked, he climbs back up and undoes the bed sheets. Just then, he sees a nurse trying to climb up the chute, but because of his mistake, she falls to her doom. Everything goes quiet for a second before Sam sees a guy inside the room. When Tom discovers another child, he is still crawling through the vent. He is about to be attacked, but Jean saves him by getting there in time. They both emerge from the vents and make the decision to rejoin the others. When they enter the room, they discover Sam standing there with a bloody weapon and no survivors. They were Jean's co-workers, so their loss breaks her heart. Before the 3 of them go outside, Tom calms her down. They are joined by Kip and Claire in the hallways. A little further, they meet the sheriff, who is also looking for survivors. All of a sudden, a panicking guard attacks Claire, assuming that she is one of the children. Before he calms down, the actual children drag him away while the others run to the door. Outside, the sheriff's wife Nora and the deputy are waiting for the survivors. When they are distracted, the children land an attack. Somehow, the others arrive at the right time and manage to free them. Amidst the chaos, Claire is left behind with the children while the others drive away. Kip is worried for her but is hopeful that the children won't know she is a human. Sam's injured leg is treated by Jean while the group stops in a church. She finally administers the painkillers to put him to sleep after hearing him scream in agony for several minutes. Tom checks the church to see if there are any more kids while everyone else remains in a safe area. He is attacked by a girl as he inspects the chapel. Running to find out what's going on, the sheriff is shocked to discover that the girl is his daughter. When she sees her daughter in this condition, his wife Nora becomes frightened. They decide to tie her hands to the railings rather than kill her. Kip discovers a pastor's journal in another location where he has interesting entries about his dreams. A few hours later, they see the pastor outside being swarmed by the children. They hold him to the ground while a kid touches his face and kills him. Before dying, the pastor says that he is not yet ready, disclosing that he knows something the others don't. Kip then shows the journal to Tom and asks him to read the last entry. In it, the pastor has predicted his death, saying that his soul was taken by children through his face. He has also written a line that roughly translates to "the children give what they receive." They are not able to depict what it means, but Tom keeps the page just in case they need it in the future. Meanwhile, Nora sees her daughter tearing up and believes that she has turned into her normal self. She quickly undoes her hands, only to be attacked and killed brutally. When the sheriff arrives at the scene, his heart drops. Before his daughter can do more harm, he shoots her dead and commits the unthinkable. In the morning, we see that Claire is still alive. She goes to her house and finds her mother's dead body in the bathtub with her face crushed. The group learns about an army base near by their town, which is their only chance for survival in the interim. When they go outside after packing up everything they need, they find a broken down car. It turns out that the children are getting smarter by the hour and have learned to disable the engine in cars. They have done the same to every car in the neighborhood, so Tom has to think of another way to escape. He then remembers that David had a car inside his garage which could still be working. Sam is unable to walk, so he stays at the church with the deputy while the other 3 go to David's home. They arrive at the location without incident, but discover a girl in the front yard. She even has a gun with her, and she appears to be proficient with it. Claire appears out of nowhere and murders the girl. She also says that almost all of the kids now have guns and that they are learning new skills. Back in the church, a horde of children attack Sam and the deputy. A while later, the rest of the group arrives to their dead bodies. Jean kneels down near her brother and breaks into silent sobs. She gets up surprisingly quickly, driven by the will to kill all the children. On their drive to the town's border, everyone notices her stiff demeanor. When they are distracted, 2 guys start firing at the car. The tires go flat, causing them to come to a halt right in the line of fire. Tom asks everyone to stay down, but Jean doesn't listen. She comes out of the car and ambushes both enemies. She continues fighting even after they are dead, while the others watch in concern. Now that they are out of bullets, Jean wants to return to the town's police station and get some from their storage. Tom argues otherwise because there is no need for guns in the army base. Jean, however, is adamant and travels by herself to the police station. Soon after, Kip and Claire join her, leaving Tom as the odd man out. He takes a few steps toward the army base before sitting down to continue reading the pastor's note. He rationalizes that the children are sucking out people's souls, but the way to stop them isn't clear on the note. Meanwhile, in the police station, they find two children gathering up all the weapons. Since they won't suspect Claire, she decides to go inside to steal the guns. The other two patiently wait in another room until they hear a gunshot. Kip runs to Claire and sees that she has been shot. He kills a man, but is in turn shot as well. The two sit beside each other until they ultimately die. When Tom finally arrives, Jean is running around the hallways in a panic. She has lost all senses and believes that the kids are encircling her. Before they leave, Tom gently brings her to her senses. They don't have a vehicle, so the kids quickly surround them on all sides. Tom forces Jean to get on her knees and reflect on the time in her life when she was the happiest. While she does so, he walks to Kid in the crowd and tells him that he is ready. Tom has finally figured out that the kids give you back the emotions you showed them. When you give them fear and anger, they do the same to you. Seconds later, Jean opens her eyes and finds herself alone. In the last scene, we see her reading the pastor's note while enjoying a beautiful day outside her house. And then, she sees the children surrounding her house again. And this time, she simply goes inside and leaving the door open as a sign of trust. That's all from the film. Thanks for watching. If you want more interesting videos like this, then hit like and subscribe to support the daily recaps. See you again. Take care.